Okay, 1, 2, 3. Aloha!
Aloha from Hawaii.
We are here today in Waikiki, and we're gonna make kombucha. And I'm Nikki.
I'm Kaylee.
This is Harper, and I'm Zane.
And so we have been traveling for the past 6 months, and making kombucha is something that we have decided to do everywhere that we go. So when we left New Zealand, we left our setup down there, and then when we got to Hawaii, we went and bought our glass jars. We actually did bring our SCOBY with us to Hawaii. It's really easy to travel with. We find that drinking kombucha helps with our gut health and keeps us regular and keeps us getting all the good probiotics and stuff. So we find it really important, and so we make it a priority to do on the road. So we wanted to show you guys how we brew. And if you're on live, just give me an emoji. And if you're watching the replay, then just do #replay, because I can't, my notifications aren't working. So, this is how the SCOBY, this has been brewing for about 2 weeks. And if you don't know what a SCOBY is a symbiotic culture. Hi, Jasmine. A symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Hi, Stephanie. And so that's what this is. Harper's saying hi, everybody. So I don't know if we'll be able to see this or not. You can kind of see it. It looks kind of gross, but so when you touch it, it feels like spongy and like thick. It's kind of like a mushroom, but you always want to keep it covered because fruit flies can get into it and they can lay eggs, and that's not good. Okay, so we always have them covered with tea towels. Will you go grab me a box so I can put that up? Okay, so what you want to do after you have it brewed, this one's been brewing for about 2 weeks. So you want to taste it to see, will you put it over there? Hold on, I'm going to try and put the iPad up so I don't have to squat. Okay. Now you can't see what we're doing. We'll get it figured out. Can you get a smaller box, please? Yeah, I'm going to just put the box in. Okay, so please hold. We're going to get the iPad figured out. Harper, can you blow and kisses? Blow and kisses. That one's not any smaller.
That is.
One of the big issues with kombucha too is to keep metal away from it. Anything you use, it'll kind of eat up the metal. Like it'll pull toxins out of whatever metal you're using. So make sure that you use wooden spoons, or I guess plastic can work as well. We use a lot of glass, to hold the final kombucha. This one actually came out of the first ferment process. And so if you choose to, you can actually drink it straight from your first ferment process, or you can do a second ferment. We usually like to do some sort of a fruit. This one actually has pear, strawberry, mango, and turmeric and ginger in it. So you let these go for maybe 1 to 2 days. One thing to be kind of cautious with on this is that it does build up gases inside. So the pressure can get kind of strong on this one, just make sure you release it every once in a while.
Okay, so you want to show them how. So we're gonna take this SCOBY out and walk you through how to brew kombucha. All right, you got that. So you want to take the SCOBY out and put it. We usually put it in between two plates. It is a science lesson for the day, Jasmine. You pull a piece out and show it to them, even if it drips. So this one has kind of fallen into two pieces. So as each ferment, see it? And it's like squishy too.
I think it looks like a big jellyfish or something.
Yeah.
So every time that you ferment, it will grow another layer. And it's called the SCOBY baby. So you can gift those to friends. I got this from this awesome little tea shop down in New Plymouth, New Zealand. What was it called?
Escape Coffee.
Escape Coffee. I'll tag them. Marley was so kind to share a SCOBY with me, and she also let me in on a tip. I've always been told that you're not supposed to use flavored tea when brewing kombucha, but they do it, and it has worked out just fine. It's also worked out wonderfully for us. So you want to make sure that you cover the SCOBY while you're working. Oh, we forgot to show them. So in order to test this kombucha and see if it's done, so it'll be really sweet when you first put it in, and we'll show you why. And then after that, if you let it go too long, it will turn to vinegar. But this is how you test. So what you would do, here, you would move the SCOBY to the side, and you would get some out of the side, and then you would taste it.
But you don't want
With
to
a straw.
You don't touch the straw to your mouth.
Yeah, because why?
If you do, it'll release bacteria and it'll make the SCOBY bad.
That's right. It'll introduce bad bacteria. Hi, Sarah. It's nice to see you. Sarah, you go some. Okay, so you pull your SCOBY out and put that to the side while we're working. And then, so what we did is we bought some kombuchas that we were drinking, and then we just saved the bottles, and we refilled them. Can you take all the lids off for Daddy, please? Or, like I had some honey from New Zealand as well, and we just fill old glass jars.
And you can also use probiotic bottles.
Yeah, any glass jar. We bought these in New Zealand. They work really nice. So we just use a plastic funnel. You can use, I've seen people use, like a filter, a plastic, instead of a metal mesh, you would use a plastic mesh filter. And because, can you show them in the bottom there? Sometimes the yeast, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, see on the bottom here? It's yeast, and so it gets kind of stringy. We don't mind drinking it, but you might want to filter it out. Do you want to get down?
Also, what works okay for that is a coffee filter. It takes a little while longer. You might have to kind of squeeze it out. So right now what we're doing is we're emptying our primary fermentation into our jars here and preparing them for the secondary fermentation. You can choose basically anything that you want to put in there. You like fruit, you like honey, you like ginger, whatever you want to put in there.
We really like to use ginger because ginger has a lot of antibacterial, antifungal properties. It's really good for digestion and upset stomachs and stuff like that. So the more ginger we can get into our diet, the better. And we are going to try, we've actually never tried this before, but a lot of people have. We're going to try a ginger and honey We got this from Wild Coast Honey in New Zealand. It's Manuka honey. Oh, we're gonna ferment them, so you can leave the lids off. What we're gonna do is let them ferment. There we go. All right. So you want to empty all of your kombucha out into. Oh, so yeah, you want to empty most of your kombucha out into your containers. When I was back home, stateside, hi Stephanie, I went to IKEA and got those glass bottles that have the flip tops on the top, and those worked phenomenally. Okay, we can just pour the rest in here from both of them. So you'll pour it out into the containers that you're going to do a second ferment in, and you want to reserve 1 to 2 cups per gallon of this. This is called your starter tea. So it's basically just kombucha, but you'll need that for the next batch in order to get that to brew properly. So we're going to reserve that, and then we're going to rinse out our gallon jugs. Those are gallon jars. I got those at Target here.
Yes.
And so you'll rinse those out. I don't use soap. You can use a vinegar, just white vinegar rinse. And it doesn't even have to be every time. I don't do it every time. It's not really important to get them clean because there's nothing dirty about them. A lot of people will ask, so even I did this. When the first time I brewed, I got a SCOBY from a friend, and she's like, you're going to call me and say, oh my gosh, there's something weird growing on it. I don't know if it's good. So, and I did. It got like white. The new SCOBY part got white, and so I thought it was mold. You will know if it's mold. It will be white and it will be fuzzy. Otherwise, it's all good bacteria, so you're good to go. You'll know it'll be either white or green fuzzy mold, and I've actually never had that happen. And I've been brewing for probably 3 to 4 years. Okay, so now to start a new batch, what we did is, so for each gallon, you want to brew 6 to 8 cups of tea, and it needs to be caffeinated tea. This time we actually used chai because that's all that we had. So we boiled some water. It doesn't have to be an exact amount, and we put 16 tea bags in there and then let it steep for about 5 minutes. And then what we did is we added 2 cups of sugar because we have 2 gallons, and we dissolved the sugar in the hot water. And now we're gonna split that water up, or the sugar, the tea. Actually, it's sweet tea, right? It's pretty much just sweet tea. And we're gonna split that in between our 2 jars. And don't worry, I will put a recipe when we're done on how to do it. So we're gonna split this up. I'm gonna let Zane do it. Into the 2 jars. The other thing that you want to be very careful of is your SCOBY can't get hot at all. So you would never put boiling or even above room temperature water on your SCOBY, or otherwise it will kill the symbiotic culture. And then that's either it wouldn't brew, or you would get a problem with growing mold because it wasn't in the right ratios anymore. So, all right, perfect. See, now it doesn't have to be an exact science. He just poured that tea into here, and it's still hot. So, what you want to do now is add filtered water to it, and we're going to leave a little bit of room for ice.
Hi, Stephanie.
So we have have filtered water for ice. You always want to use filtered water. We can check on your sister. So it is okay if your SCOBY gets cold. You can even put your SCOBY in the refrigerator if you wanted to. I have never put it in the refrigerator. It's called a SCOBY hotel. Like if you brew for a while and then you get sick of it, and you can always just put it to the side, make a batch, put it to the side, and leave it alone for as long as there's liquid in it. And you'll come back to it and it'll be all vinegar. So you can make kombucha vinegar, and then you just restart the process over again. It's another one of the reasons why I love brewing kombucha is because it's very, very forgiving. It's not this exact science. You have to get everything right to make it perfect. Okay, so now that we have cool liquid, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add back in our starter tea. So you see the difference in the color? Will you please? I can't see it. So this is the sweet tea, and this is what it looks like after it's brewed. So you can tell that the bacteria have gone in and used the sugar and used the tea, and this is what's left. So we're gonna split this up. I have about 3 cups, so I'm gonna do 1.5 cups in each. And again, it doesn't have to be an exact science, but you would need at least 1 cup of starter tea to, will you pour that in for me? To brew properly. So after that, we are going to grab our SCOBYs. Sorry. And put them back in. Now you can touch them with your hands, but I kind of think they're gross, and so I don't. So I just use the wooden spoons. Actually, it's more, for me, it's more about I don't want to introduce any bad bacteria. Some people are like, no, that's really gross. I'm not touching that. Okay, so I put those 2 back into one of them, and then this one's really big. I'm gonna split this off and give it to some friends before I leave Hawaii.
You don't have any friends.
So if you're, I don't. What about Irene? And Angela? So if you're in Hawaii and you want a SCOBY, I'm more than happy to share. Okay. So, and there was just some extra starter juice there. Okay, so now once that's done, you want to put your tea towel back on. And the reason you want it a tea towel and not a cover, like a lid, is so that it can breathe. Because like Zane said, it's going to release carbon dioxide as the bacteria use the sugar. And then so you want to put a rubber band on to make sure ants or fruit flies can't get in. Here in Hawaii, actually in New Zealand as well, there's a big problem with ants. They're fucking everywhere. We've never had to deal with them before. Well, I mean, a little bit, but not like it is here. I mean, the ants have taken over. Anyway, okay, so that's done. And now we're going to ferment the rest. We're going to do a second ferment on these. So I'm going to do mango. I'm going to do one with mango for the honey. Oh, thank you, honey. For the honey. I'm going to do mango and ginger in here. And you can peel the ginger or you cannot. You can just cut it up, whatever works for you. So you're going to put that in. For this one, another one I'm going to do strawberries and ginger. And we used frozen strawberries as well. So you can use frozen fruit. I'm using the frozen mango also. And then for this one, I'm going to So I'm just gonna add a teaspoon of honey. And what I always thought, I was under the impression that honey would actually not allow it to ferment. I thought that the honey would kill the bacteria, but for some reason it does not. Honey apparently doesn't kill good bacteria, it only kills bad bacteria. Honey is very healing, especially, yeah, but only use it for the second ferment. So honey is very healing, Manuka honey especially. In New Zealand, they use it as, in hospitals and doctor's offices, it's good for any skin infections. They just eat, like this one is 15 plus, and we just eat like a spoonful a day just to help keep the doctor away. Okay, so for that one I did honey and ginger. And we'll have to let you know how that one turns out. So yeah, so with these, like Zane said, these are prettier, so I'm gonna show you these. So turmeric is a good one too. Turmeric is all the buzzword these days, right? It's very high anti-inflammatory. So we just got some fresh turmeric root. It looks just like ginger, except it's orange. And we put it in here. So every day, maybe twice a day on these second ferments, you just want to loosen the lid. If you Google kombucha exploding, there's plenty of videos out there of kombucha exploding, and it does happen. So be aware of that. Is there anything else that we missed? If you guys have any questions, you can either ask them now or you can ask them in the comments, and I'd be happy to I have a little mimicker, and you can and I'd be happy to answer them what I know about it. It's been really life-changing for our health, and I would encourage anyone to do it. I'm also, so you can also make your own SCOBY from buying a kombucha at the store, or you can ask a friend, or if you wanted to pay for shipping, I'd be more than happy to ship you out a SCOBY as well. We just put it in, so you would just do, I would send you like a cup of starter tea and then a SCOBY in this. And so I'd be happy to share. Anything else? Got anything to say, Kaylee?
Any questions?
Any questions? Give us a heart, a like, share with your friends. The more it will, the more it reaches, the better. People need to get information on easy, effective ways to change their health in a positive direction. And this is one that is super easy. I mean, a gallon of kombucha costs, I think, about $3 at the most to brew, whereas this, what do we pay here?
$3 probably just for that, probably a cheap price.
Yeah, the sale price is $3 on this.
Here.
Here. I used to get it really cheap on the mainland, but so it's a great way to save money and a great way to improve your health. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Do hashtag replay and let me know that you watched it on the replay. And you guys have an awesome Thursday. We are off to do some homeschool bowling and then go play family soccer in Kailua. Have an awesome day, guys.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Thank you for watching.